Oh, we're live.
Yes, we are.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna put this down.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Yep.
So we were talking about Alicia Curry,
Ayesha.
Ayesha
Yeah.
Curry, and I'm gonna be on her side for and
You don't say.
yes, and you're gonna tell me why you feel the way you feel. He's a sports guy. Like he lives for basketball, so he you know a little bit about this.
Not just a sports guy, but I'm a man, and I've been doing my own self work, so I have a lot of perspectives on this. But go ahead, tell the people what you think and what the actual situation is. Now, this is an old thing that happened, but I guess I forgot how we came to talk about
We were
this.
talking. You just made a comment
About
the red table talk. You were talking about Will Smith, the entanglement. What? Save it. We're gonna go live.
Well,
okay.
We were talking about the entanglement thing, and then I guess how Ayesha Curry got brought up into the situation. And you were saying how you said I know girls who they just want to know that they're still attractive.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think she wants to be hit on. I think she just wants to know that people still find her attractive.
Now, to be honest here, the way I think is not going to be based on what the world's logic will be. So I'm going to be real. That's a self-esteem issue. That's like if a man says, I'm married and have a family, but I want to know because I need to know that other women still find me attractive so I can feel good about what's here. That's self-esteem. And that's also not acknowledging what you have as your blessings and not being content. Like we were saying before the show came on, the fruits of sin are diseases to the soul, and those diseases ruin you. I value myself enough, or I'm not content enough with myself that I need more. And we all know that void that sin will build is that I need to sustain this with anything I can keep finding. You'll keep finding, or you go deeper and darker, and you'll never stop. And it'll ruin you. Whereas you can be content. I mean, the woman is pretty. She is married to Steph Curry. They have, I think, 4 kids now.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, like with women, it's like a little bit different for me, right? Because I have like businesses and I well educated, all that stuff. Yeah. So I have like
well educated.
I guess. Thank you, honey. But like I have like a track record where I have my self-esteem built on other things that's not based off my beauty. But a lot of people have their self-esteem based off their beauty. Mm-hmm. And she just because she's not getting validation from other guys, she just may feel like she's still attractive.
And so I don't know if you heard me. Her and her husband have 4 kids. I want you to think about this. We're kind of talking about like the Kevin Samuels thing. High value man, high value woman, right? Steph Curry is probably one of the top 5 best players in the NBA. What he can do on the court. If he, dating wise, was a free agent, he could have his pick.
Yeah.
He chooses to be married to this woman and have 4 kids with her.
Yeah. I know. I guess that should be enough. Like, it should be enough.
Look at it from the perspective of the dude. Who is going to say, you know what? I can steal this girl from Steph Curry.
No one can. No one can. I understand that. No one can.
So the problem is a self-esteem issue for the individual. I understand because I know what that's like. Nothing to do with sex. It's a human thing. That we are not content. And the world will say that contentment is a bad thing or you're settling. These are all things that are devices of evil to deceive you. To be content means to be satiated and satisfied.
Hmm.
You can't, if you're not finding contentment in what you have, well, think about it like this. What if she did get that adoration from men?
Mm-hmm.
Where else is going to lead? Oh, wow, they really love me. Then it takes the right person to sweet talk you. Oh, I think it'll be okay if we video chat. Oh, it'll be okay if we just text. Oh, it'll be okay if we just get coffee every now and then. Oh, it'll be okay if we, oh, it'll be okay. Ah.
Yeah, I don't think it's like that for women. I think like, like with guys, you guys could like in the world, right? Hi everybody who just logged on. Thank you so much for logging on. Um
Hello?
aw, thank you. Um but I think like for men it's like, having body counts, you know what that is, right?
I don't.
Like, how many girls you got to sleep with and things
That's
like that,
gross.
right? But like for women, it's
Gross.
like who would want you, but you have them if you just say you want them. Like they're they're willing to date you or they're willing to, be your boyfriend, all that.
And for the men, so you're right. It may manifest itself differently in men and women, but it's the same thing. It's vanity.
Is it?
So it you based on what you just told me. If I'm a woman, I want to have such an amorous beauty that all these men
Mm-hmm.
would want to date me, and I
Yeah.
can pick one.
Yeah, and I could
And
pick any.
and if I'm a man, I want to get my body count up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but it goes back to what I said about having an insatiable desire that can never be satisfied and will ultimately destroy you. So hear me out.
Oh, I
So
see what you're saying.
even if you're a woman and you never actually have sex with these men,
Mhm.
eventually when those numbers start going down of men who want you,
Mhm.
your self-esteem will crack.
Okay.
As
And
a
what
man,
about like a guy then?
as a man, your body count keeps going up, you can ruin your life. You can wind up having children with women that you had no intention of having a long family with.
Hmm.
Your body count goes up, you could keep having sex.
Gotcha. But like, what for guys then?
Mhm.
What is it if your body count goes down? Like, what if you don't
That's weird for guys.
like? Because I don't understand that
If
at
a
all.
guy goes through a dry spell with
Yeah.
not have any girls,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it would crack your self esteem too if you just can't get with anyone.
Hmm.
But I don't think that's the biggest risk for guys. I think the biggest risk for guys is that they can get themselves trapped into situations.
Well, it's not the same for women.
It is, but you're saying the woman that for the woman, her goal is not to sleep with the men. So I'm not. I'm talking
Yeah.
about for the guys. The guys are trying to sleep with the women. They can get themselves into situations that could totally dictate their life
Hmm.
because the guy's trying to get to that stage, from based on what you said.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Yeah.
But like,
How's the audio, by the way? Let us know if it sounds good. I'm trying to hold this mic up in my bare hands.
thank you,
It's
honey.
very heavy.
But like, she wants to look beautiful, but I understand like who is going to approach her? No one's gonna ever approach her.
But even what I'm saying is, even if guys approached her, when would it be? When will it be enough?
Okay, yeah, I see that point.
The problem that the young lady is very beautiful, but the problem is not her own beauty; is how she feels about herself, and that's for everyone. This is coming from a person who's working on his self-esteem as we speak.
So it's like a never-ending thing that will ever be satisfied.
Because if you build your hopes or you build your value on your beauty or your ability to attract other mates, you'll never be at peace. So your
Yeah.
value has to be built on something higher or something that doesn't change.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and we could say like, look at it. This guy Steph Curry. She could, if you wanted to change your perspective and say, this man could have his choice of anyone he wants.
Hmm.
And he's big time in the NBA. If he was a free agent, like I said, with free, free to date whoever he wanted, he could have his pick. But he chose to marry this woman and have a beautiful family with.
Gotcha.
So if she's valuing him for who he is,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm not here to talk about, I don't know the intricacies of their relationship, nor do I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
But from what we do know and from what was publicly available from that red table talk, like that's her perception should be on that.
Yeah, but doesn't she have like a? I mean, like for self-esteem, she has her cooking stuff.
That's what I'm saying. Self-esteem is a deep thing. That's something that goes into your heart. I'm personally in my own walk of realizing that. Like, for example, with losing weight.
Mm-hmm.
I remember when I was at my smallest, I still self-esteem wise was not happy.
Okay.
And I realized like I always wanted to prove something to someone else to get that, hear that person say this and that, and hear that person say this and that, but it never was enough. And I would go play basketball and utterly dominate the court, like just crush people in the court, hurt people's feelings, and then beat them so bad.
He did.
But till now to realize, okay, that is the part of my development I need to fix. And I asked the Lord to help me see the part of me that's messed up, that
Mm.
I clear out the mess in my heart. I clear out the deception. I read scripture. I take time to sit and meditate on the word. What's the part of me that keeps getting in my way? And it's poor self esteem. Because I deal with poor self esteem, I get grumpy with myself. I get grumpy with myself. My days become harder. I make poorer decisions. I have less patience for others, and it manifests itself in different ways because I'm not viewing myself through the right lens.
So, what is poor self-esteem then?
Hmm. I can't give like a clinical definition. I can
Mm-hmm.
only talk from my experience
Yeah.
of what I'm
Yeah.
experiencing. Is when you're not content
Hmm.
with where you are currently and who you are, and that discontentment,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion and in my experience, it strives to pull you further down in believing how bad you actually are. That might not make any a lot of things. I
Yeah.
don't notice it.
I struggle with that.
Yeah, that's self-esteem. So that's something that you got to address in yourself, and it takes work and it takes discipline. But there's something that you have to look into yourself. I one time I sat down and kind of went through the different things I've done,
Mm-hmm.
and it wasn't until this year, after years of doing different basketball programs and working with different groups, and actually now that I look back on, it, I'm like, whoa, that's quite the resume,
Yeah.
and I never thought of it like that.
Hmm.
I never thought of it like that. Wow, you hosted 2 camps.
Mm-hmm.
You made money as a small business. You coached at these schools. You coached in the ABA. Wow, you trained these players. Never thought of it as anything. And
Hmm.
even still to this day, I still don't think of it as anything.
Yeah.
But by God's grace and mercy, I started to realize, okay, I got to fix that because I'm missing out on confidences that I built up that are there for me to take a hold of.
Hmm.
And if I were to, as I'm healing my self-esteem and recovering, that confidence is becoming mine to hold to. So
Hmm.
now when I go in to try something new or do something, I'm like, you know what? I've done this before.
Mm-hmm.
I've gone into a situation like myself.
Mm-hmm.
Now my self-esteem is being built by and built on that Jesus Christ died for my sins.
Hmm.
And nothing can separate me from his love. If God loved me so much that he gave his only begotten son,
Mm-hmm.
how will he not give me everything else?
Yeah.
So knowing that in myself I have a broken piece, I trust God enough for he showed me what it was,
Mm-hmm.
and now I trust that he'll help me push it in the right place, and he is. And
Yeah.
the way it's happening is through discipline.
Hmm.
And not just discipline, but also understanding things take time. My goal is to lose weight and to reach 220 pounds. It's going to take time.
Yeah.
But in that time of me losing that weight, I'm not saving anybody by going 100,000% every day and breaking myself.
Yeah.
Some people think, oh, I'm going to work hard and push it. That's okay. But in the same token, you need to be ready to do whatever you got to do the next day to keep the consistency. Consistency will help heal self esteem because you're proving to yourself you can do it. I was half baked
Yeah.
because I got to a certain point. I got success up until that point,
Mm-hmm.
but I didn't finish cooking because I didn't continue with the disciplines.
Yeah.
I rested on the success that I had and rode that wave and enjoyed the attention of many different people,
Hmm.
the acknowledgement, the love that I wanted,
Hmm.
the love that I wanted. That's what I was doing, and it ruined me. It wasn't good.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. We were talking about this last night about where you get your self esteem from. And I think I was telling you, like, it's not about how you see yourself, it's about how God sees you.
Yeah.
And if you look at yourself through that lens, I was telling you that God sees you like a child, like how we see our kids.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're doing something really stupid and throwing this huge tantrum, right? We don't look at them like we look at them, and sometimes we think, "Oh my gosh," but it's like we understand that they're annoyed, but we're not angry at them or like we hate them or we want to like hurt them. It's the same thing with God. Like he'll look at us like, oh wow, you're really throwing a tantrum right now, or you need to calm down. But it's more like, like as a parent, you're just annoyed or you're just like frustrated, but you're not angry, you don't hate them. You understand that
And
they're children.
not only do you understand, but a lot of the times when, say, for example, when our kids are doing their thing, we know the solution, we
Yeah.
see the solution, but we're not going to give it to them until they control themselves and
Yeah.
realize they can talk to us.
Yeah.
So for me, you know, I've had a lot of success up to this point with weight loss, but it wasn't just weight loss anymore. So I realized like every time I come to a success
Mm-hmm.
or positive transition or milestone in my life, this this way of being comes up that sabotages everything. I said, Lord, I need help fixing this. I always know it's coming. I just never prayed about it.
Yeah.
And he showed me clear as day what it is. You know?
You're getting in your own way.
Well, it's self-esteem. It's poor self, the different things that it entails.
Mm-hmm.
But exercising daily discipline and the daily discipline of being understanding of myself is helping me move in the right direction.
Wow.
Because my mother had told me something that really made me think. She said, you're a very intense person, but you've always been that way, extremely intense.
Mm.
All that is you're passionate. You really do care and love a lot, but you can't be so intense that you burn everything around you.
Yeah.
And I realized, like, dude, that's true because sometimes I'm so intense, I punish myself.
Wow.
Like, oh, you're working out and you're a little tired. You better not stop now. Push harder. Now, sometimes that's okay when it's in balance. When it's just like push hard and no like proper take care of yourself too,
Yeah.
you're just gonna break yourself down. I used to get injured all the time because of it.
Yeah.
So no, I think Ayesha Curry was dead wrong, and she should. In my opinion, it's something it's a reflection type thing. You're more than your beauty. You be happy. Let your self esteem be based on God. He's eternal, and get to know that relationship. It'll change you, not for the worse, but literally for the better. It'll free you.
I mean, one other thing like I think about is like the way I act around other people. Guys don't have an opportunity to even think that they could talk to me at all. I actually just don't even talk to guys. Like, so it's kind of like if you want the opportunity for guys to talk to you, you need to give them that opportunity. Like you need to put yourself in a place where guys can approach you and to talk to you.
And then to that, what are we saying?
So it's like, so it's kind of like she's really putting herself out there.
Well, she's not putting herself out there. She's saying she wants that attention. But you're saying that intention would require you being
Exactly.
out there.
Yeah.
And my thing is, why do you even want that? Why? First of all, why do men and women practice extreme promiscuity? Well, what are they trying?
That that's supposed to be for God.
But they and why do people do crime? It's to fill some void.
Okay.
That's really what it is. But my thing is, what is it saying on a relationship standpoint? Let's go back to the relationship aspect. You're married. This
Yeah.
man who has a choice of whoever he could want, because he's that level of a person, chooses to be with you and commit to you publicly.
Yeah, but I'm saying like it like guys won't do that because she has to put herself out there for them to approach her like that. Cuz like I know like guy the way I talk to like my coworkers for example, they would never ever say anything like that because
Knock them out.
no, like even if they never met you. Because I don't ever open that door. I don't even let them see the door
Exactly.
handle.
And my thing is, why would a married woman even want that door handle to appear?
Yeah.
It's like if you don't think you're beautiful and you need other men to tell you you're beautiful, that's I'm gonna say it like it is. That's attracting sexual attention, even if it doesn't lead to intercourse.
If you lust after a woman of your heart.
Yes, are you kidding? Jesus gave that beatitude rule so people realized they couldn't follow it. Trust me, because I used to try to follow the beatitude rules. I'm like, this is impossible. The point of the law is so that you realize you can't follow it. Because it also says if you think evil of your brother, you've committed murder. That everybody's guilty of that.
Yeah.
And your brother is everyone. So like, you know what I mean? So let's be correct there. And it does play that role, but like the thing is what, poor thing, well, whatever it is she's dealing with, I pray that, she comes to find out who she is in Christ and how God feels about her and the beauty of it that she has to be married. Not even if she's not Ayesha Curry, even if he's not Steph Curry, the beauty of it that they're a married couple raising their family together.
Yeah.
God made the family as a special thing. If you don't see the value in that, then maybe the universe that you're in or the place that you're in life is corrupt in the way you're ordered and deemed as this is good. Then you're going to find lacking because look at the beauty standard. Instagram models and all that airbrush, Photoshop.
Yeah.
Well, how can anyone keep up with that?
It's like they're so beautiful that they're not even human.
But if that's your standard of living or your standard of what life is and reality is, you can't find peace.
Yeah.
Sex is a small part of life, not the main part. That's why for me personally, I could never. I could never understand why men would want to have sex with multiple women. There's too much connection involved to just want to sleep around with multiple women.
I couldn't understand that with girls. Like when I went to college, like I couldn't understand like why, like how, like I mean, girls would just literally meet a guy, don't know anything about him, like just think, oh, he's hot, and that's it. And I'm like, do you not?
It all goes back to the self. What if I told you the greatest secret that the whole world doesn't know, or better yet, the world knows it but just refuses to believe in it and rather believe that I need to get these Botox injections, these butt implants, and have a high body count of women I have sex with to be happy? What if the truth is that you as an individual are made in the image of God? If you believe that, how can you ever deteriorate in value?
That's true.
But if you get people not to believe that and tell them this body and this life is all you are and all you have, you got to be the most beautiful, have the most attitude, and Follow the flavor of the day. Every day you go, wear what everyone is wearing, look like everybody looks, be like the most beautiful person. That is the thing to do. If you get everyone to believe that and not believe they made in the image of God, you could just piper them to do anything you want.
That's true.
For a while it was that like girls without full figures were attractive. Now, the more curves, the better. You're a winner now. And it used to be different skin. But my thing is, who cares what is modernly attractive?
Hmm.
Why does that matter?
Hmm.
You can say, oh well, because beautiful people get advantages. Well, why do we choose beauty over character? I learned that I went through a stage when I was much younger, before we even met,
Hmm.
where I had many women talking to me.
Yeah.
And I thought that was very strange.
Hmm.
Because out of the two, the physical responsibility of sexual intercourse has potentially life threatening risks for the woman.
Hmm. Yeah.
And I'm not saying the man and woman aren't equal in this interaction. They are equal.
Yeah.
But out of the two, for the woman's side, her side is more life threatening from a
Yeah.
probability standpoint out of the two.
Yeah.
And I thought, how valuable is something that everyone is willing to give? Because I seem to be this type of guy. Or I knew that. And I realized it's very smart to be careful who, as a man, who you choose to wed and who you choose to bed. Very smart to be careful. Because men and women are the same.
Hmm.
There isn't any difference. Men and women are 100% equal in the interaction when it comes to sex and relationship. Kevin Samuels, everyone has his opinions on him, but I like him because he does keep it honest for men and women. I've listened to a lot of stuff that was geared towards men, and it's very good, generic, basic guy information about taking care of yourself, being presentable, and competing in the relationship marketplace. Though I'm married, I want to make sure that I'm still attractive to my wife. I want to make sure I take care of myself because I want to be healthy, but also want to look good for my wife because I love her.
Thank you.
And I hope the same thing. But he keeps it real for men and women, and that's good
Hmm.
because he says women hold the key to sex,
Hmm.
but men hold the key to relationships.
Yeah.
Now, if you have a whole bunch of men who don't think they bring any value or have any value, then they won't be and careful. They're more likely to commit to a deeper, long-term, and committed relationship.
Yeah.
It's not just about sex because all women have vaginas and all men have penises. So it's
Mm.
really not like a hot commodity you can't get. It's always there. So then you can't you shouldn't act like a fool because a beautiful woman says, "Oh, look at me, I have a beautiful body."
Hmm.
It's not enough.
Yeah.
All women are beautiful in their own way, and all men have uh, their attractive qualities in their own way. But there's more to beauty than just the physical form. You can't build a life or a relationship on just that because it won't
Yeah.
last.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
Just so you know, I chose you for more than just your body.
Well, thank you. That's why I'm trying to get in shape for you because I love you so much. Well, I'm trying to get in shape for myself, but you know,
Yeah.
I just want to be healthier. Period. But yeah, I love that. You know, I will say that I was physically attracted to you first,
Hmm.
but that physical attraction would always tell me there's beautiful women everywhere.
Mm.
So what? And she would
Yeah.
say something that's a little naughty, but she said it's all the same in the dark. I'm like,
Yeah.
thanks, Grandma. But she's not lying. So I was like, so then why react so crazily if there's no real connection? And my father would always say, son, there's plenty of fish in the sea, but you got to find a girl that's going the same way as you.
Hmm.
Got to find a girl that's going the same way as you.
I like that.
Don't get tripped up on this beauty. And I get why he told me that, because trust me, I had so many opportunities. If I just wanted to give in to satisfying my desire, really could have went nuts. But I
Hmm.
didn't want to, because I realized that's not self mastery.
Yeah.
I don't want my urges to control me.
Hmm.
And two, like, I've always, like, I want to be married. I want to have that committed relationship. I want to have that one person who absolutely adores me. So that means I have to condition myself to be a certain type of person and have to find that person.
Hmm.
And I've been blessed to find you.
Thank you. Kids, for them at bedtime tonight, um when they get really really upset, you tell them blow the candles out, which everyone thinks is really cute. We were at the Christmas Eve party and everyone's like, oh, that's so cute, because they were getting mad. He's like, now blow the candles out, and they're just like
Yeah, I made that up on the spot.
and they're just and that's what they do. So I tell them to, like, the Bible says walk in love, I was like, do you walk in crying? They're like, no. Do you walk in frustration? No. Do you walk in anger? No. So I'm like, what do you do? They're like, blow out the candle and you put your invisible crown on. And so that's what they do. They blow out the candles and then they put their invisible crown on. Because I was telling them tonight that, they are princesses, they are children of God, and that that's what matters.
Yeah.
It's like, what does the Bible say about you?
I want to interject real quick. This is why it's important that for kids, as parents, it's important you make sure you know what they're watching. Time as a parent with them close to close, on the ground, face to face, and start the fire of self-esteem for them. You have to start it for them as a kid, because they're just children. You have to start the right way, but you also have to be responsible to explain things that they watch on TV. It's very dangerous just to leave your child in front of a TV, for example, especially when it's like not cartoons and it's live people. They'll start building an esteem, because this is the time they're looking to build the esteem. So if there's live people talking on TV about trash, for example, when I was a kid, 106 in Park was a big thing. It was 106 in
Yeah.
Park, the BET. If you're a kid and you're in that self-esteem building stage, which I'm just saying this from what I see, what I've seen, what I experienced myself. This may clinically be proven in another way and explained in a much better way. But if that self-esteem building time is happening and they're watching these things and it's like 106 in Park tip drills playing and all these, so okay, this is what I need to do to be beautiful and attractive. And the school they go to is reinforcing it.
Yeah.
And the mom and the dad aren't there to talk the life into them, or haven't been there at the bedrock to say, hey, son.
Yeah, you need to definitely be able to combat what is going out in, what they're seeing, what they're taking in, and explain it to them so they understand. So
Ever since the kids were kids, ever since our children were babies, when commercials would come on that I really didn't think were appropriate, I just be like, yuck, that's gross.
yeah.
And now they're just like, no, I don't want to look at that. I don't look at, and I tell them, listen, makeup, those things, you don't need it. It's it. You're beautiful already. You're beautiful in yourself already. Accept yourself for who you are. You're gorgeous. But I tell my daughters every day, I love you, beautiful. You look fantastic. You look gorgeous. You don't need a dress. You're perfect just how you are. I love you very much.
Yeah.
And I tell them straight up, you got to be happy with you.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's tough love. They give me attitude. They start crying. I'm like, listen, does daddy got to go to school? No. They go, no. I'm like, well, listen, you got to go to school for you. So I'm not going to clean your room. I'm going to go downstairs and have breakfast. You got to do what you got to do so you can go to school on time and do their own thing. And now, with the rhythm we've built, they're doing things for themselves because they want it for themselves.
Yeah.
And it makes it hard to deal with them sometimes, but I'm okay with that.
Yeah. Yeah, they're practically off to college at this point.
Oh, probably not going to send them to college. It's a scam anyway.
Yeah. All right. I think we're at 38 minutes.
Oh, nice. Wow.
Yeah, this was a really good chat. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for joining us live. This is the stuff we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
And we're just like, I was just like, you know what? Let me just like introduce my husband
Yeah.
to this YouTube channel. He has his own podcast called Kill the Snake. It is very intense. It is not for the lighthearted. This is like light stuff, but on his podcast, very intense. He goes deep in subjects. It's very philosophical. Just like, you got your box of tissues and your Bible, and you gotta brace yourself because it's
Oh
it's
man.
real. It's real
It's
there.
okay.
No, it is a tough listen. You gotta hold on. So yeah, if you want to get more of him, you can find him at Kill the Snake. Thank you guys so much for your time.
Well, let me plug it because he plugged it
Okay.
well. The Instagram page is Kill the Snake 7, all like that, and it's the Kill the Snake podcast. You can't miss it. It's pink and yellow and red. It's quick. You'll see it. You'll see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Peace. Thank
Bye.
you so much, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun. Okay.